Yo, what's up guys, it's Melontosh here, and I'm back for the team builder for week 8 of the GPC, and we're going up against Rhyquin and his Vespa Queen Pug Rangers. I said Queen very distinctively then. As the Vespa Queen Pug Rangers. First off, before the battle has already happened, but I know exactly what I wanted to say, so I'm just going to say everything I was going to say, and you guys ain't going to get no hints for nothing. And what else was I going to say? Oh yeah, I tried to record the Summon Moon trailer analysis and the mic didn't work, and it's working now. So I'm going to try and record it again after this, but I need a bit of a break because, it's just hard to get the same hype up. But you know, let's go into the team here. First off, I'm really sorry, I did forget to nickname my mons for the battle. So obviously you guys know that next week it will be Flubber the Rhyquin, Red Bull the M-Absol, Man Bear Pig, the Embor, Homer the Snorlax, Sejuani the Mammoth Swine, and Bruce the Crobat. You guys know that, you guys know their nicknames at heart, but I did forget for the battle, and I'm really sorry. It was literally first thing this morning. I literally woke up, I didn't have breakfast, I went downstairs, I took a banana, I ate the banana, I walked back upstairs, I turned on my computer, I got ready, and I recorded. Literally how it happened. I had no time in bed. I literally woke up, my mom woke me up, and then I was like, crap, I was busy battling Rhyquin this morning. He was like, I'm up, and I was like, whoa, and then I battled him. So yeah. So we got the leftovers Magic Guard, Acid Armor, Carmine, Recover, Psychic, Reuniclus with max HP, max special defense, and 4 in defense. I'm not just bringing this thing because it swept Dom and it did really well. It's because he doesn't have a dark type again, and he does have some physical threats. Before I do anything, I should go with my opponent's team. My opponent can bring the Current Black, the Gengar, the Vaporeon, the Mega Pidgeot, the Thunderous Darien Incarnate, Hitmontop, Ferrothorn, Uxie, and Coughing. Biggest threat to my teams, 100% are the Current Black and the Thunderous. Gengar can actually be a bit of a threat, but Snorlax does really well at dealing with it. Vaporeon can be really annoying if Reuniclus doesn't. If Reuniclus drops, but it is set up fodder for Reuniclus if it doesn't drop. Same with the Ferrothorn, can be really annoying, but if Reuniclus is there, I can set up on it. Uxie could be battered with Trick or something like that, which would actually be really scary for my Reuniclus, so I kind of need to be wary of Uxie, but once I know it's set, I can potentially set up on that. I can set up on the Coughing. If I get Acid Armors up, I can set up on the Kyurem, and I need to scout for the Thunderous is set. He could have knockoff, so I need to scout for knockoff. Although, however, knockoff, don't think it's going to kill me, but I do need to scout for the knockoff. I can also set up on Hitmontop, so it's pretty decent. I think I need to get 1 Acid Armor up, depending on what the Kyurem set is, which I do need to. I don't tank hits from Kyurem well at all. Kyurem is the biggest problem to my team by far. It's just such a problem. So this thing does really well against him. I went for Psychic over Psyshock because of Ferrothorn and nothing else really. It doesn't really matter. I also expect him to be physically defensive Uxie rather than special defensive Uxie. I don't expect him to be Calm Mind Uxie. So, and if he does Calm Mind Uxie, I've got other ways of dealing with it. So it's okay for me. Team matchup is actually a little bit weird one. I feel like a lot of my mons match up really well, but Kyurem Black and Thunderous just match up really well against me. Kyurem especially matches up really well against me because I couldn't pick up Steelix again, so it's kind of unfortunate. But like stuff like M-Absol, if I get his team for me is kind of, he has stuff to block some of my mons, but some of them cross over, and if I kill that mon, then my other mon can just wreak havoc on his team. So next up is M-Absol, which is another one that can really do well, but again, there's a few things I need to get rid of, like the Hitmontop. Originally I had Play Rough on here, but then Ferrothorn was a bit of a problem because there's actually a chance of him bringing Acid Spray Ferrothorn, which actually was really clever and would have been really hard for me to deal with. It actually does decent damage to Reuniclus, means I can't really set up on him, and even if I would be able to 1v1 the Ferrothorn still with Reuniclus, depending on its spread, I might not be able to. But I wouldn't be able to 1v1 it, and that would mean maybe it could have Acid Spray and Giga Drain or something, because I do have a Seismitoad, so Giga Drain is actually viable to get health back, kind of. But I don't really see that coming, and, well, it is a possibility, so that's why I had Flamethrower on Play Rough, because it could be a problem, and then I don't really have much else for it. I've got Man Bear Pig, but it's really easily worn down in this matchup, so that was my thinking about having Flamethrower over Play Rough. I figured the Hitmontop would be easier for me to get rid of than the Ferrothorn, depending on the sets, of course. But here, Ferrothorn has more room for versatility than Hitmontop does, so that's decent for me. Next up, I am just max attack, max speed. I'm enough speed to outspeed a not Thunderous because I knew I was just going to go for Sucker Punch against Thunderous all the time. I'm not going to outspeed it. Maybe Gengar. It was to outspeed Gengar all the time. So the reason I'm not just going to always go for Sucker Punch against Gengar is Betty's Uncle Suck says it can go for Sub, and he's going to expect me to outspeed with Thunderous. That's why I'd never go for Sub on Thunderous. It just doesn't really make sense. If he does, then good play to him. Next up is Ember with Expert Belt, Reckless, Flare Blitz, Wild Charge, Sucker Punch, and Power Up Punch. In retrospect, I can't say that because I've had the battle, but well, actually no, because I'm just not going to say it. So I've got 224 in HP, I've got 252 in attack and Adamant Nature. Of course, minus special attack. I don't have any special attack moves. I've got 28 in speed just to make sure that I outspeed Vaporeon. I think 28 is enough when he's got a wall like that. Wild Charge, Flare Blitz with Wild Charge does take out Vaporeon. Power Up Punch, if I get that off on a switch, it will do a lot. I think it's really important for me to gain momentum in this matchup, because if I don't get momentum, I'm going to end up losing this match, because we both have, well, he's got a really offensive team, and my team is pretty offensive, although it's very, very bulky. It's kind of bulky offense, so it's going to be punch for punch match, especially with the team I'm bringing. So momentum is going to be huge. Next up, we've got Snorlax with Leftover, Stick Fat, Pursuit, Return, Rest, and Sleep Talk. Rest and Sleep Talk, this basically counts as Gengar. I don't really have much for Gengar on my team. I do have 2 Sucker Punch users, but he could have Sub, or Will-O-Wisp is kind of what I'm expecting, is Will-O-Wisp set so that he can switch in on my Gengar, but on my Snorlax. But then I've got Pursuit here, and Pursuit is going to do a lot to Gengar when it switches out. I think if I'm burned, it does about 20%, so 40% when he switches out, but if I'm not burned, it does double that again, so it will do 40% and 80% when he switches out, which is just fantastic for me. 2 Focus Blasts will not take me out, and he's got to hit 3 in a row to take me out, which is actually not in his favor whatsoever. So it's not like this is a pretty decent check to the Gengar here, especially with Pursuit. Next up is Mamoswine. I actually really had, I actually put Crobat in here first. So let's do Crobat first. We've got Crobat with Black Sludge, Infiltrator, U-Turn, Defog, Brave Bird, and Roost. I had Tailwind in here, so that Ember could outspeed some stuff, but then I realized that it didn't really help my team too much, and U-Turn was much more viable, because again, momentum is really important. So I wanted U-Turn, so I've got U-Turn, Defog, Brave Bird, and Roost. Brave Bird is, this thing is basically my Hitmontop check, because even if he's max Adamant, I can Roost up and I will be faster than it. Max Adamant, max attack Adamant, I will be faster than it. His Stone Edge will not be doing a lot to me. If he wants to predict that and go for Earthquake, but there's no reason for him really to bring Earthquake against my team, and he's going to want it slightly defensive. So then Brave Bird obviously does a lot of damage. I can defog Rocks away for the Focus Sash on my Mamoswine, which actually could be really important for me. I need to play Mamoswine well, because I'm basically counting on it to take out one of the threats, Thunderous or Kyurem Black. That's kind of my plan with it. So next up is the Mamoswine with the Focus Sash, Oblivious, Stealth Rocks, Ice Shard, Knockoff, and Endeavor. I never know how to say that, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm max speed, max attack, but I am indeed Adamant. I think maybe, I'm not really sure why I was Adamant. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I kind of like this part of my team, and I had no idea. I didn't feel like any of my other mons matched up really well against his team, and I was trying out new sets. I had a weakness policy, Rock Polish, Regirock going, but then I was like, nah, it just doesn't work. This thing's probably the best, because what it means is that if I can keep Rocks off the field, and he locks himself into Outrage with his Kyurem Black, then I can just switch this thing in, and he has to go for Outrage. I can de-ever, then Ice Shard, and that thing's gone, and I would make that trade all day, every day. I think if that trade occurs, the match is basically mine. Almost definitely the match is basically mine. The other thing is mostly, because it's my least valuable member, I'm most likely going to lead with it, because I can just knock items off, which is really useful against a lot of his mons. If they have the Cobble Berry, which a few of them could definitely carry, like the Gengar or the Uxie are the obvious ones, but even the Thunderous could consider carrying it, and I just wouldn't expect that at all. So a knockoff from my man, but he's never going to switch a knockoff on his Thunderous from my Mamoswine anyway, because I'm an Ice type, so it doesn't make much sense, and I just follow up with Night Shard, so that doesn't make much sense, but knockoff is really nice. The other thing is a likely lead for him is, this actually happened in my practice match, was that I led with Mamoswine and he led with his Thunderous. In my practice match, I actually made the mistake of switching out I went into my Crobat, and just because I knew he'd either go for a fighting move or a grass move, and then I just pivoted around basically. But that was a mistake. What I should have done is because at that point I didn't realize how much of a threat Thundurus was to my team. A mixed attack Thundurus is really, really scary for my team. So what I should do if he leaves with Thundurus is click Endeavor. The only thing is that if he doesn't have the grass move, then it's going to reveal my set. And that is kind of problematic, but I made that mistake in the practice match, and I said I was going to click Endeavor, and because of the Seismitoad, I should have clicked Endeavor, then I shot and take it out. Snorlax can also take on the Pidgeot reasonably well, as I do have Sucker Punch on these two things, so I think I should be kind of good to go with Gengar, and Pidgeot could be a good bring for him, but Sucker Punch is going to do a lot. He can't do much for Uniqlos as well as a switch in, and again, Ice Shard from Mammothswine does really, really well. So that is the team. Let me guys who you think is going to be MVP. I'm not going to tell you this week because of course the battle has been done. But that's going to be all for me guys. If you guys did enjoy this video, please leave a like rating down below. If you're feeling like an absolute legend, then go ahead and smash that subscribe button. But other than that, I'll smell you later.